Yo, welcome back to another episode of the JVaz Show. I'm your host, JVaz. And look, first of all, I want to say big shout out to everybody that's been following us, everybody that's subscribed to the channel, everybody that supports us. And first things first, Texas Underground, the segment you've been watching that does interviews, where we do the interview every week, maybe twice a week sometimes, that has moved to La Maquina TV. So, if you still if you like that kind of content, you like the interviews, make sure you give them a follow. I'm gonna post the link on the description of the YouTube video. Give them a follow, La Maquina TV, my boy GT Garza. So, stay tuned with the interviews on there. Second, we're gonna keep the shit going a little bit different. I plan on doing this once a week, where we're gonna talk about weekly drops. We're gonna talk about artists to watch, Texans, Latin legends, and everything else that might be going on out here in the music scene or whatnot. So let's jump right into it. Something that's been going on out here in Houston, Texas. Everybody's talking about it. If you're in the music scene, everybody's talking about it. Brick Wolfpack calls out that Mexican OT. Says he ain't fucking with him. Says OT was talking, behind his back to some people. First, my opinion, this shit is kind of sad because OT is doing his thing. He's blowing up. Brick Wolfpack is a big name here in Houston as well. And ideally, instead of these guys going at it, it'll be dope to see these guys actually work together. Now, I understand there's a backstory that I'm not aware of. A lot of people might not be aware of. We don't know the details. So it's kind of hard to say, Brick is tripping or whatever. I personally know OT. I've never met Brick, but I've never heard anything negative about Brick, so I can't sit here and say anything negative about the man. So hopefully they get it figured out. Hopefully they work things out at some point. And who knows, man, we might end up having a dope-ass collab with, this is reaching, I know, but OT, D-Baby, and Brick. If they can squash whatever is causing all these problems, if they can squash that and come together, make a record, it'll be big for the city, big for the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that works out. Let me know what you think, though. Let me know what you think about this whole beef with Brick Wolfpack and OT. What do you think really happened? You know what I'm saying? Drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about it. Keeping it moving, though. Still the same topic. OT, that Mexican OT, saw the story from Brick Wolfpack because he reposted it. And it was kind of funny because he reposted it and didn't say nothing. So it was kind of like, I see you, bro. Maybe trolling him? Who knows? Who knows, man? Again, I don't know the backstory to what happened. But, again, let me know how you feel about the whole situation. Especially the funny situation of OT reposting the story and not making a comment about it. He hasn't made a comment about it yet. Hasn't responded to Brick yet. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully these camps figure it out. But, you know what I'm saying? We'll keep an eye on that. Another thing going on out here in Houston is, there's some media outlets. There's some artists that feel very strong about South Part Mexican. They're not necessarily from Texas. I know there's people in Texas that don't really care for SPM. But the one we're going to talk about is actually in Cali. Shouts out to Cali. Salute to Cali. Number love, man. The homie E45 went on the show, and you can catch that interview this Friday on La Maquina TV. He went out, and even before the show, he called out Haters World and Capone. First, let's talk about Haters World. He goes in there, calls out Haters World. Hater World replies. He does a short video to rate the diss track. I guess not rate, review the diss track, do a react. On that video, he kind of makes fun of my boy he says he barbecues or cooks weenies, which they're sausage, but, that's another story. To which E45 didn't like, obviously, right? Because you're disrespecting the man's hustle. So, that brings me to talk about this. E45 calls him out. He tells him, look, man, this is not a Texas versus Cali. This is not Texas versus Cali. Emphasize that. This is not Texas versus Cali. This is E45 that happens to be from Texas disagreeing and disrespecting Haters World, who happens to be in Cali, who's also disrespecting E45. So these are two individuals going at it. E45 says, you want me to back off? I will. I challenge you to a boxing match. E45 is not a boxer. I'm not sure, how good at fighting Haters World is, but he tells him, let's get to it, and whoever wins, we shake hands and we drop it. We let it go. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, E45 also called out Mr. Capone. If you've been following the music scene out here in Houston, you know Mr. Capone has called out and he's disrespected and he's made videos talking about, SPM and the whole situation behind SPM. We'll get more into that in another episode. But obviously, Dope House, SPM and Dope House has this low following, so they ain't going to take that. They're not going to take any disrespect towards SPM or Dope House. Capone keeps going at it, right? And then they're talking about how we fake the way we talk out here in Texas. That we're not, this is not how we really talk, that we're faking our accent, which is kind of interesting. But again, we'll talk about that later. Right now, let's talk about E45 and the Capone beef. E45 calls him out. Mr. Capone, he calls him. And then he tells him, hey, you want me to lay off? I need this X amount of dollars. And I let it go. Capone hasn't responded, right? And I get it. What does Capone have to prove to E45? It's a good question. What does he have to prove? Or is this deeper than that? Or is this more of Capone? Stand up for yourself and represent Cali like you claim you do and go at it. But then that puts a contradiction to the whole thing that this is not a Cali versus Texas. So I asked E45, what's the end goal of this whole beef? And you can watch that on the interview on La Maquina TV. But let me know what you think. You think Capone will actually respond to E45? Do you think he stands a chance against E45? Or do you think E45 is just going too far and doesn't stand a chance versus Capone? Drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about that. And we're going to keep the show going. Look, man, another cool segment that I would like to do. It's a segment that I've been doing, but I want to incorporate it on the show as a whole. And we're going to talk about Texas Latin legends. This one is it's going to make people question what I'm saying. And I get it. I'm fully aware of what's the feedback I'm probably going to get on this. But look, man, let's talk about this guy that's from Vallejo, California. Coming out of Houston, Texas. Started in 1996 with partner dudes. He had Latino Velvet. He joined SPM at the Dope House. And you know what I'm talking about. The smoking nephew, Boby Bash. Now, I know. I clearly mentioned on there, he is originally from California. But what Boby Bash has done coming out of Houston, in Houston, as an artist based in Houston, not from Houston, based in Houston, what he's done for the Latin culture, the Mexicans, you can't deny it. And that's why, in my eyes, he's a Texas Latin legend. Not saying he was born in Texas, but everything that he's done here in Texas for us, from Dope House to going to Universal. I mean, this man dropped On the Cool and Savage Dreams under Dope House. On the Cool was actually a pretty dope album. Savage Dream was a real dope album. He signed to Universal back in 2003, where he dropped The Smoking Nephew. And that project went certified gold 5 months after it was released. In 2005, he released Super Saucy with the single Baby I'm Back with Akon, which charted number 11 on the Billboard Top 200. He got some independent films with Chingo Bling and Danny Trejo called Primos. He's got an energy drink. I know y'all probably don't know about this, but he had an energy drink, or probably still has it. I don't know if he still owns it or if he's still even, producing it or whatever. It's called Go Girl. The proceeds of this energy drink go towards breast cancer and research for women. That's fucking goated shit right there, bro. Like, motherfuckers ain't just out here doing these kind of things. He's a platinum artist, Bashtown Records. In my opinion, he's done so much for us. I understand he's from Cali, but in my eyes, Boby Bash is a Texas Latin legend. Drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about it. Again, I know I might be tripping. You might think I'm tripping, but look, it's undeniable the stuff that he's done for us. So that's how I feel about the whole Boby Bash coming out of Texas. You know what I'm saying? All right, and we're going to add this segment on here because it's something I want to bring light to artists that you might not be aware of, artists you might not have heard yet. About 3 years ago, I got introduced to this artist's music, and this last couple years, she's been taking it a little more serious, which is dope. She's born in Muskegon, Michigan. Side note, I actually went to school in Muskegon. But anyways, that was like a summer. Based out of Midland, Texas, she blew up doing freestyles on Facebook. Young lady, beautiful, talented. You might have seen her pop up on your reels, on your Facebook stories. And I'm talking about Karlaaa. Look, if you haven't checked out Karlaaa, man, you're sleeping on one of the most talented young up-and-coming artists coming out of Texas right now. She dropped Loose One back in February 24th of the year 2023, last year. Followed by Why You Trippin', that was a visual on April 30th. On My Bare Feet dropped on July 14th. That was another visual that she dropped. Funky Little Beats, that was dropped in August. And the reason I stopped there right quick is because on this track, she was showing versatility. This track wasn't like her other tracks. So she was showing that, hey, I'm capable of doing more than one style of music. I Wasn't Lying was a freestyle she redropped on September 27th. I believe that was an older song. People really like her music. You go to the comments, people talk about how they can relate to the lyrics, how relatable she is with the lyrics. For example, 4 years ago, she dropped Go Ghosts. That visual has 14 million views. She has a bar on there that she says, people leave and come back like they never left. And I can't do that again. That shit happens on every day to everybody, bro. And we ain't talking about just relationships. We're talking about friends, family that just leave. And then they want to come back like nothing ever happened. But nah, bro, we ain't doing that no more, she said. And I bring that up because last month she dropped Go Ghost Part 2. She dropped the visual on it. It's currently sitting at 204,000 views. She said, who gonna be beside me if my success came to an end? Something that I always think about too. You know what I mean? Like, you have a lot of friends and a lot of followers, but who's really gonna fuck with you when the clout ain't there no more? When the success starts to die down. So again, that's why people are really calling her relatable. And these songs, that song in particular, man, you know, it's one of them things where you talk about how you care for people and are willing to do for people more than they are willing to do for you. So it's a relatable song. If you ain't gonna listen to anything else, listen to the latest single that she dropped, Go Ghost Part 2, available on YouTube, where she already has over 359,000 subscribers. So add one more by subscribing yourself. Karlaaa, the artist to watch on this segment. Make sure you check her out. We'll put the link on the description of the video, description of the podcast. We'll put her Instagram page as well. So make sure you guys check her out, show her love. Also, forgot to mention, shouts out to the family. My boys out there in San Antonio, La Conecta. Make sure you check them out at shoplaconecta.com, where you can get, you know, a custom, some of these pillows. We got the Texas Underground pillows. We got, you know what I'm saying? We got the screw head pillow. We got the H-Town pillow right here. And you can use promo code Texas Underground and get a discount on there. I will tell you what discount, but I completely forgot what percentage it was. But you will get a discount with the promo code Texas Underground. Shouts out to the family out here too. Tatted Locals. I don't know if you can see my tat. You can see some of it right here. Shouts out to Tatted Locals. If you're looking for piercings, tattoos, teeth cleaning, whatever the case might be, hit them up at Tats by 50. Book your appointment today. And also, thank you guys. Shouts out to y'all. Thank you guys for watching the very first segment of the Texas Underground segment, the JVaz Show. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know how you feel about everything we talked about. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let's go.